You know that feeling, right? That weird, kind of creepy feeling that your phone is listening to you, that it just somehow knows what you're thinking about? Well, the truth, it's way more sophisticated and honestly, way more interesting than that. So let's pull back the curtain and see how this thing really works. It's the question we have all asked. How does it know? I mean, how can it possibly be that fast? It feels like telepathy, but here's the thing. It isn't magic, and it's not listening through your mic. It's a machine. A machine that has become fluent in a language that's way more honest than anything you could ever say. It reads your behavior.
So, picture this. It's late, you're on the couch, just scrolling. It's that typical chaotic mix of stuff, right? A cooking video, someone's vacation, a weird dance. Your thumb is just in this rhythm. Flick, 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 dismissing video after video without a second thought. And then the rhythm breaks. A video of some powerlifter shows up. You don't hit like. You don't comment. You don't share it with a friend. You do basically nothing. You just hesitate. Your thumb just hovers there for maybe 4 seconds. A tiny, completely unconscious pause. And then you keep scrolling.
But in that moment, everything changed. Because the very next video you see is about protein shakes. And the one after that, a compilation of gym fails. Your entire digital universe just morphed right before your eyes. Welcome to Gymstagram. And that 4-second pause? Yeah, that was all it took.
So, what on earth just happened? It's because the algorithm is fluent in your digital body language. You see, it isn't reading your mind. It's reading the thousands of tiny, unconscious signals you're sending with every single tap and every single scroll. For years, we all figured the like button was the big boss, right? But it turns out likes are actually kind of rare. And, let's be honest, a little bit performative. The real data, the good stuff, comes from what are called implicit signals. See, a like is what you want your friends to think you're into. A long watch, well, that's what you're actually into. And the most powerful, the absolute golden metric of all these signals is watch time. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. The algorithm breaks it down. First, there's the 3-second hook. If you stick around past 3 seconds, you've just told the algorithm you've gone from just browsing to actually consuming. Then there's completion rate. Finishing a short video, that's a huge win in its book. But the ultimate signal, the rewatch loop. You let that video play again, even once, you're basically screaming at the algorithm, give me more of this right now. It gets even crazier. The system literally analyzes the physics of your thumb. Think about it. A fast, steady scroll, that's a signal for boredom. The algorithm sees that and goes, okay, they're bored, they're looking for something, keep it moving. But a slow scroll, even a tiny hesitation, that signals intrigue. It's a quiet little vote that says, that was kind of interesting. Show me something like that, but maybe even better. But of all the signals, one has risen to become the absolute king. The send, the share. The head of Instagram himself, Adam Mosseri, has said it's the most critical metric. And why? Because a send is a huge effort action. It helps the algorithm figure out unconnected reach, which is the holy grail, showing content to people who don't even follow an account. When you share something, you're not just liking it, you're putting your own social reputation on the line for it. You're activating the network. And just think about all the other silent votes you're casting, all the time. You turn the volume up, that's a huge signal. You're demanding the full experience. You visit the creator's profile, wow, now you're interested in the person, not just this one video. You expand the caption to read more, you're intellectually invested. And a save? Oh, a save is like a super like. That tells the algorithm this content has real long-term value to you. Okay, so the algorithm is collecting all of these votes, constantly. But who is it actually collecting them for? To solve this puzzle, Instagram has basically created 2 different versions of you, and they are constantly fighting for control of your feed. On one side, you have your long-term you. Think of this as your digital DNA. It's been built over months, maybe even years. It knows you love travel blogs and cooking and dogs. It's your stable identity. But on the other side, you have your short-term you. This is just your current mood. It's got total amnesia. It only cares about what you did in the last 5 minutes. It's volatile, it's impulsive, and it's purely reactive. And the real magic, the secret sauce, is in the battle between these 2 yous. So let's say you're a heavy metal fan. That's your long-term you. But out of nowhere, you pause on a pop music video. The algorithm has a dilemma. So what does it do? It runs a test. It slips one more pop video into your feed. If you flick past it, your impulse is ignored, no big deal. But if you watch that one too, well, congratulations. Your session identity is now officially pop fan.
And if you keep engaging with that short-term impulse, let's say you keep watching those gym videos every day for a week, something called interest drift starts to happen. That temporary mood, that whim, it slowly starts to harden and actually becomes a part of your core long-term identity. The algorithm is literally mapping the evolution of your personality in real time.
This all sounds incredibly complicated, right? So how does it possibly happen in the blink of an eye? Well, the secret is that your feed isn't some preloaded playlist. It's a living, breathing thing that is being built as you scroll. It all works like a super fast funnel. At the very top, you've got billions of reels out there. In an instant, the system retrieves a few thousand potential candidates based on your profile. Then, a really heavy-duty AI model scores every single one of those candidates on how likely you are to engage with it. And finally, it picks the number one best option and serves it up to you next. This whole four-step process happens every single time you finish watching a video. So this is the main thing to remember. Your feed is a live conversation. You speak with your thumb, and the machine answers with the next video. When you paused on that gym video, the system didn't have to go search for new content. It instantly just reshuffled the deck of candidates it already had for you, pulling another gym video from the middle of the pile and slapping it right on top. And just to keep this conversation from getting stale, the algorithm uses this classic strategy, explore versus exploit. Mostly it exploits what it already knows you like, more gym videos, because that maximizes your watch time. But every so often, it explores. It'll toss in a total wildcard video just to test new interests, to see if it can discover a new part of you. It's constantly A/B testing your personality. So, when you put all these pieces together, you start to realize there's this whole invisible team of agents working behind the black mirror of your screen, all just to create this seamless illusion that it knows you. First, you've got the detective. This agent is tirelessly scouring billions of posts to find content that perfectly matches your digital fingerprints. Then, the matchmaker steps in. It compares you to your digital doppelgangers, other users just like you, to see what they've already loved. And finally, there's the mind reader, this incredibly powerful model that predicts with almost scary accuracy exactly how you're going to react to every single video it's thinking about showing you. So now you get it. You know how the algorithm is watching you. You know how your tiniest, most unconscious actions are steering its massive brain. But here's the thing, that's only one half of the equation. We've just been looking at our own reflection. Now we have to ask, what's on the other side of the glass? Think about it. For every single reel that makes it to your screen, there are literally millions that don't. How does the detective choose that specific gym video out of maybe 10 million others just like it? How do creators even get their content into that prediction funnel in the first place? Well, that's the story for next time.